WP for the 19th time, said the genie. I cannot accomplish your very creative wish to solve one of society's ills, for I cannot undo a wish granted by a genie stronger than I. Don't you get it yet? So today was a real situation. A guy a half-dozen wish-granting entities of all sorts of stripes, all bumming around in a loose half-circle. Sup, I greeted. This was probably gonna suck, considering the daisy chain of wish-granters. So first was an imp, a little devil guy. He called in his superior, who called in his superior, who took out a genie lamp, and then the genie called a minor kami of luck, and that guy called Inari, and Inari called on a Greek goddess of the hunt, who for some reason thought to call me. And I was just a cute girl, so, I mean I had qualifications, but being on the call dial of Artemis was a little bit much. I took a seat. All right, what's the problem? I have a theory for world peace, the dude began. A collection of groans went around the circle. Look, I said before anyone else could jump in. World peace is a non-starter. I'm not mind-controlling the entire world. And neither is anyone else here, right? There was a nod of agreement. So my theory, he continued, ignoring me, is based on mutual destruction. If everyone knew they could be annihilated at any second by anyone else. No, man, give us a sec to talk, okay? Go write it down on your notes app or something. I gestured at his phone before turning to the other entities. All right, let's all just walk over here. We huddled up. Okay, so what the actual fuck is going on? What's the leverage this guy has that we all can't just fucking leave? The three devils had the same excuse. They followed their little runbook about escalation clauses, and the genie was a guy in reserve. The genie was bound by the lamp itself, and so he called upon a kami because apparently he had spent time in Japan and earned a favor that couldn't be denied. The kami then asked Inari for help, since she was actually a kitsune, and Inari was her boss or something-ish. And Inari, being a major kami, wasn't going to say no. But then she roped in Artemis because apparently they had some old pacts that predated written history. And Artemis called me because she was the only one with the guts to ask. I looked at her, she just shrugged. You have a reputation for finality. Okay, so nobody's under any duress. You're all just following a chain of command that leads to this one guy, I summarized. Cool, neat, fine. Now what do we do? Any objections to me just saying, sorry man, can't grant that wish and leaving? The devils were all for that. That meant they could go home, no harm, no foul. The genie was okay with it. The kami was fine. Inari said she was busy with rice harvests anyway, so she was glad to be excused. Artemis nodded her head in agreement. The hardest part now was going to be sitting down and listening to this guy's proposal, because it was going to be stupid. It was always stupid. But I had to because I was going to have to explain why it was stupid, and he probably wasn't going to like it. Let's hear it, man. I tried not to let the sarcasm leak into my voice too much. He cleared his throat. My wish is for you, the most powerful entity here, to grant the power for every single human being with a single thought, kill any other single human on Earth, including myself. Well, that really was a wish of all time. The raw power of will made instant and undefendable, where killing was its own defense because a dead person couldn't think back. Every grudge was now a quick draw with no safety anywhere, since you could drop any one person who scared you but never all 8 billion of them. So you see, he said, puffing out his chest, no one can act against anyone. No one can invade another country. No one can steal or kill or lie, because if they do, the person they wronged will just think them out of existence. The entire world will be held in a state of perfect, mutual politeness. Okay, so, I began, the issue is that there are some irresponsible types out there. What if some nobody locks themselves up and thinks everyone he knows to death? Or what if some little kid gets a nightmare and thinks their mom into a cloud of dust? What if someone's having a really bad day and a guy cuts him off in traffic and he thinks him into a non-person? That's a risk we'd have to take, the guy said, a fire in his eyes. For the greater good. I clapped my hands. Right, gang, that's a wrap. Wish denied, let's all head home. With various waves and salutes, our little menagerie of wish-granting entities dissolved back to their own corners of reality, leaving me alone with Mr. World Peace. Why not? He demanded. You didn't even try. I sacrificed 3 piglets for this. I looked at his offering. I mean, yeah, but also that was to summon an imp, and the rest of them were sort of all too polite to say no, really. Except me. So you must be weak. It must be that there must be some sort of stronger genie blocking you from your power. I will find them, and then they will grant my wish. Nice rage bait, pal. I dusted my hands off. But I'm just a cute girl, actually, so sure. Find someone stronger, I guess. And that was that.